It really does feel like the Indiana Fever organization came out of the break singing a different tune, and that includes head coach Christie Sides. Sides has said positive things about Caitlin Clark in the past. Don't get me wrong. I know she's everybody's favorite out there, but I don't know if I've heard her quite as effusive in her praise as she was when she joined Howard Megdal of Locked On Basketball to discuss the rest of the Fever season and Caitlin Clark specifically. You can catch the link to the entire interview in the description below, but here is a little bit of what Sides had to say during that piece, including what the Fever need to do coming out of the break.
We're just able to execute with the players that we have on the floor, with our shooting ability, with AB and how she's playing, Alyssa Smith, Kelsey Mitchell, the attention that Caitlin Clark, what she draws and how she's been such a great playmaker with the players around her. I mean, we're getting wide open shots.
So she's praising Clark, obviously, for making things easier for her teammates, the gravity, if you will. That's a phrase that's been brought up. Obviously, Steph Curry's been in the news. That's been brought up a lot with Steph Curry over the years, the gravity that he brings to the floor. And that was something you obviously saw Christie Sides mentioning right there in discussing the impact that Caitlin Clark has simply by her presence and the attention that she draws from the defense. But Sides, that wasn't all she had to say. This next bit is I think the most over the top I've heard her ever.
Become fewer and fewer.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the reps with her new teammates. It's the reps with understanding where Aaliyah is going to roll to, or where Liz is going to pop to, or where the defense, and then also the scheming part of it, where the defense is coming from, and just making those reads. I mean, she's making these reads now against the best players in the world, right? I mean, these are some great athletes who are putting pressure on her that she's never felt before. She's starting to figure that out. That's reps. So I think to me, that's where we're going to see the improvement. I talked about her being a playmaker and juggling that and trying to make sure like we're getting, she's needs to take a certain amount of shots for us to be successful. But her playmaking skills are just, that to me is what's so impressive. And it's just been so fun to be out on the court with Caitlin Clark and the things that she sees, her court vision and the passes that she makes. I mean, sometimes you just have to pause and I just turn around. I'm just like, wow, like, just that a pass that she'll make, and we'll go over and look at it during the practice, like with our video guy, just because we're like, wow, was that as special as we thought it was. And it is. So I think, like you said, reps has a
Sides usually puts off this image as like a tough cookie. I don't recall her talking like that before. I really don't. I don't recall her talking like that before. Now, she did go on to say that they need to get better on defense, citing that the Fever are ranked 11th on defense. And I've talked about defense and rebounding with this team a lot. Howard also pointed out how Caitlin Clark's shooting numbers are actually better the more days off she has in between games, including on 3 days rest. I think it was 47% from the floor and almost 44% from three. And Coach Sides had mentioned how this break could be great for her in that sense. But it feels like the entire team is energized, from the social media squad doing the flexing I talked about before, from Caitlin being ready to get back to business, and the coach being excited and really seeming grateful for who she gets to coach now. She also obviously talked about Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, the other all-stars who are the focal points and the fulcrums of this team. But I really just, I was a little, I don't want to say taken aback, but it was noticeable, the praise from Sides, because it felt more effusive than we've seen in the past.